graduate entry white coat ceremony. My name is Kathleen Mitchell, and I serve as Associate Dean of Student Affairs for the College of Health and Human Services. It's my pleasure to begin this evening's ceremony by introducing the Fall 2025 MSN Graduate Entry Masters Cohort, led by Dr. Holly Myers, Interim Director of the MSN track. Please silence your cell phones and stand if you are able. You may be seated. I would now like to introduce Dr. Mark Merrick, Dean of the College of Health and Human Services.
Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. So I am Mark Merrick. I am the Dean of the College of Health and Human Services, which includes our School of Nursing. And one of the very best things that I get to do all year long is today. I get to welcome a new group of learners into their profession and mark their transition from being a student to being a professional, which is a really cool thing, and I'm very glad you all get to help me do that today. So when I talk about becoming a professional, I think it's important to understand what professionalism is all about. So there's a common idea that professionalism is not the job you do, it's how you do the job. And that is absolutely true, but it is so much more than that. Professionalism is not a label that you can give to yourself. Professionalism is a description that you hope you will earn from others. There's an expert on professionalism named David Maister who's talked about a number of characteristics, and I'm going to steal a few of his thoughts and share them with you today. So 5 major characteristics of being a professional. The first one is competence. Competence is getting the job done and done well. An amateur practices until you can get it right. A professional practices until you can't get it wrong. And there's a huge difference in that. That's really important in those very critical moments when you have to get it right. It's about developing discipline-specific knowledge and the wisdom to know both when and how to use it. And it's about being self-aware of your limitations and having the humility to ask for help when you need it. Another characteristic is integrity. This one rings true to me because as dean, when you fall short, you wind up in my office. Integrity is doing the right thing, even when it's the hard thing. It's about setting high standards for yourself and being committed to accountability both for yourself and to others. It is not something you do because others are watching. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one else is watching. The next characteristic is respect. And respect is about genuinely valuing other people, even when they might not value you or on days when they might not even value themselves. If you want respect, you must earn it. You can never demand it. As a professional, however, you always have to give it even when the person you're working with hasn't earned it or is acting in a way that would cause you not to have respect for them. They get respect anyway. You must have emotional intelligence. That's the next characteristic. Emotional intelligence is self-awareness and self-control. It is easy to do things when they go well. And you're going to have a lot of days that go wonderfully where you make a huge difference in someone's life. And then you're going to have those other days. You're going to have days when it doesn't go well, days when it's hard, and days when the best outcome is still less than the one you had hoped for. Learn to read the room. Sometimes it is more important to show that you care than to show that you're right. It's about realizing that how others interpret your words and actions is what counts, much more so than what you meant by your words and actions. Be a force for stability in the storm. You are going to be working with people often on the very worst day of their life. Have the emotional intelligence to be there and support them through that. And the last characteristic for you today is confidence. Confidence is not cockiness. Every single one of you is smart. Every single one of you is immensely talented, or you wouldn't be here with us today, and you're all going to make a tremendous impact. Can't wait to see how you do that. But understand that confidence isn't cockiness. It is not about how you see yourself. It's about your ability to meet the needs of others. It's about being able to reassure them, lessening their anxiety, and motivating them to succeed. So go out and make a difference by being a pro. You didn't come here to be an amateur. Be the very best pro you can be, and do it every single day. And with that said, I would now like to introduce Dr. Eileen Walsh, our Chief Nurse Administrator and Senior Associate Dean for the School of Nursing. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I wanted to extend a really warm welcome to all of you, the family members, friends, the children that I also saw here tonight. Thank you for being here to help us celebrate the ceremonial entrance of our students. I also wanted to acknowledge the faculty that are here as well as the staff. So thank you so much for spending your evening with us. The white coat ceremony marks the entry into nursing practice. And what an honor and a privilege it is to serve and be a nurse. It certainly has been for me, and I believe too that the nurses that are here would also share that similar sentiment. Nurses save lives. We also play increasingly vital roles in today's healthcare systems. All of us witnessed firsthand during the pandemic the important role that nurses played throughout that entire process. Our roles were highlighted on all the media outlets, television networks, etc. So the world embraced nurses in a way that we had not seen before. Nurses were seen as unique, varied, and those with challenging roles just to function within the healthcare system. So tonight we celebrate you, our students. You are on your journey. Nursing calls for intelligent, compassionate, and empathetic women and men with exceptional assessment skills, critical thinking, and the inherent ability to make sound decisions to solve problems. So nurses here at the School of Nursing truly reflect the university's mission, and that is to improve the human condition in the region and the world. And we do just that as nurses. We work in hospitals, clinics, schools, health departments, hospice and palliative care, senior centers, substance abuse facilities, and even correctional facilities and factories. So you can see that nurses work in varied areas. We also work in rural farm communities, urban metro centers, and in some areas, the most distant, remote villages in Africa as well as in South America. You can see then that nurses are everywhere. We're everywhere striving to improve the health and well-being of not only individuals, but families, communities, and nations across the globe. Some of you may choose to practice as a bedside nurse. You may be a critical care nurse, public health nurse, an academician, hospital educator, researcher, consultant, or even a healthcare policy expert, or someone who wishes to participate in Congress, either at the, obviously in Congress, the national level, or in the state. In fact, we have had nurses, at least 2 within the recent past, who have been acting surgeon generals. So you can see that the options for you are truly limitless. And you can make an important contribution. I also wanted to highlight two important facts. That is that the World Health Organization designated 2020, which is not that long ago, as the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife. This was in honor of the 200th anniversary of Florence Nightingale's birth. Also, the other fact I wanted to mention, that in January of 2025, just this past January, the Gallup poll again showed that the American public ranked nurses as a profession with the highest honesty and ethical standards. This has been running now for 23 consecutive years. So this is truly a wonderful distinction, and all of you are going to be building your careers on this awesome legacy. So today marks a symbolic beginning, the white coat ceremony. It served as a rite of passage for many of the healthcare professions, and in nursing we've recently adopted this as our ceremony. In the past, nursing had a capping ceremony, and those of you who are nurses in the audience can probably remember those days. Now we typically have the white coat ceremony, which mirrors many of our colleagues in healthcare professions. So the School of Nursing actually does this for each cohort, and tonight we're privileged to do that for our GEM cohort. I also wanted to invite Dr. Janice Servick up here. Nursing has had a very rich history, and Dr. Servick is going to take us on a journey through time. She will be highlighting some of our wonderful nursing colleagues who have come before us and share some of the important contributions to healthcare and the well-being of our nation. Thank you very much. Let's welcome Dr. Servick.
Thank you, Dr. Walsh. Good evening. I speak on behalf of the School of Nursing faculty who are all confident that you have made an excellent choice in choosing nursing as your career path. Today, this message is framed around the world, around the word imagine. Imagine what has been done and imagine what you will do. Get the slide. Noted historian David McCullough contends history is who we are and why we are the way we are. This holds true for you. Each of you has a history, a journey of experiences, relationships, and interests that have informed your choice to be here today. His adage also holds true to our professional history. Countless men and women have advanced the cause for centuries. As you imagine your future, I hope you will take pride in a newfound connection to our fine past. Time is limited, but let's just imagine a bit about some of those who have come before you. Imagine Dee O'Hara, who was the first nurse to work with NASA and participated in all the launches of the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs, as well as the first space shuttle flight. President Kennedy declared an ambitious goal in the 1960s to end the decade with a moon landing. Just imagine as a nurse being an important part of this amazing accomplishment. Later, she worked for many years at NASA's Research Center, with studies exploring the physiological parallels between bed rest and spaceflight. Influential in understanding the impact of space travel on astronauts' health. It must have been exciting for nurses like our former faculty colleague, Dr. Cortice, to be among the first of nurses to open up a critical care unit as they emerged in the 1960s. Now common, this innovation presents exciting opportunities for nurses as clinical experts in the delivery of complex care. History provides us with context at the same time we see the literature documenting novel approaches in COVID-19 care practices. Imagine Clara Barden's journey as Civil War nurse and founder of the American Red Cross, who challenged queries about her presence as women in the arena of war. She replied, "If you chance to feel that the positions I occupied were rough and unseemly for a woman, I can only reply that they were rough and unseemly for men. Similarly, in service, post-Walt Whitman wrote that he gained more from those he cared for than they did from him, describing this as the greatest privilege and satisfaction, and of course, the most profound lesson of my life. Imagine the career of Mary Eliza Mahoney, who in 1879 became the first African-American graduate nurse in the United States and dedicated much of her career to challenge the status quo and discrimination of her chosen field. The American Nurses Association has a tradition of an award named for her to nurses whose efforts expand diversity and inclusion in nursing. Imagine the efforts of Dr. Luther Christman, an early advocate for gender diversity in nursing, the first male dean of the American Nursing School, and a co-founder of the American Association for Men in Nursing. 2 national awards honor his career in recognizing substantial contributions of men to the advancement of nursing. Imagine the careful efforts of all standard bearers who continue the mission of building diversity in our ranks to represent more fully the people and communities we serve and to more richly understand the human experience of others. Imagine the nurses who have served in the military, including those from our faculty and student bodies who have served others in times of both peace and war and often in harrowing circumstances. An example of our clinical nurse leader program alum, Air Force Major Michelle Bender, whose personal history of overseas deployment and seeing those with PTSD influenced her choice to earn a psych mental health doctoral degree. It was monumental in January 2021 to see her unique experience as a member of the inauguration support team in DC. Mary Breckenridge, 1925, founder of the Kentucky Frontier Nursing Service, wrote, "It grew upon me that nurse midwifery was the logical response to the needs of the young children in rural America. My work would be for them. Can you imagine going to clinical rotations on horseback? No matter the conditions in rural Appalachia, her pioneering work continues here today, or there today, as an outstanding model of care delivery." Lillian Wald's public health nursing in the late 19th and early 20th century was visionary, and she modeled social activism. Imagine the countless nurses, including those in our college, who have advanced our profession, influenced policy and legislation for the public good, and advocated for a better healthcare system and society. Imagine noted nursing leader and suffragist activist Lavinia Dock as she declared in 1917, "The old stiff minds must give way. The old selfish minds must go. Obstructive reactionaries must move on. The young are at the gates." Our history is long and our influence is effectively serving communities today. The nurses before you have laid an impressive, always forward-moving path for you to continue. Nurses encounter difficult circumstances in practice and profound ethical challenges while also advocating for better practices and public health policies, as many of us witnessed during the COVID-19 pandemic. It doesn't take much imagination to know that we will look back at this time and place in our nursing history and be surrounded by evidence of more nursing commitment and nursing contributions to society as well. I urge you to reflect on the ways that nurses have and will continue to care for others, and then imagine how you will contribute to the future of nursing. We will now proceed with cloaking of the white coat. Doctors Walsh, Myers, and Phillips, please join me up front. Us students will be cloaked by one of our MSN GEM faculty, Dr. Phillips. Students will receive a pin by Dr. Walsh from the Arnold P. Gold Foundation, Keeping Healthcare Human. Will the first row of GEM students stand and come forward with your name card? And white coat students, you will hand your card to Dr. Myers and then walk forward and give your white coat to Dr. Phillips. And after the last student returns to their seat, Dr. Myers will proceed with the pledge.
Courtney Jagowski. Margaret Northcutt. Rachel Samira Fall. Eileen Carney. Hannah Sandkrant. Kirsten Tracor, right? Patrick Fox. Gage Cool. Jenna Foose. Ajike. Deborah Unayama. Hadil Sarabi. Catherine Gallagher. Caroline Weisenberger. Ryan Brown. Vidya Amanda. Charity Misra. Nana Anchi. Quattro and on. Ufuma Okoli. Close. Whitney Wheatro. McKenna England. Shiza Latif. Asia Walsh. Chloe Elizabeth Cox. Olivia Shutt. Brandon Hayes. Do you want them to stand while they're reading or no? Okay. Congratulations. The reciting of the Nightingale Pledge has been an honored tradition of nurses since 1893. Students, please rise and recite with me the University of Toledo School of Nursing's version of the Nightingale Pledge, which you can find on the table in front of you. So please read along with me. I solemnly promise to practice nursing to the best of my ability and to live my life with integrity. I will strive for excellence using professional nursing standards and the ANA Code of Ethics as guides. I will endeavor to use my intellect, spirit, and knowledge in providing non-judgmental, compassionate, and quality care to all I serve. I accept the responsibility of this important work and embrace a journey of constant learning and growth. I will work collaboratively to promote health and safety of individuals, communities, and society. I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the art and science of nursing, respectful of the contributions of nurses who have come before me today. I proudly begin my commitment to this. You may be seated. I was going to say invite you back, but you're right, so.
In closing, we know that the journey you have embarked upon will require dedication, effort, and resilience, but you are not alone in this journey. You have with you, either physically or in spirit, family, friends, and significant others who will be here to support you over the next 2 years as you pursue the final stages of your goal to become a nurse. The faculty, staff, and I are also here to assist you and will be cheering you on. Congratulations again to each of you who worked so hard to make it to this moment. We are proud to welcome you into the nursing community. Go Rocket Nursing. This concludes the white coat ceremony this evening. Thank you all for coming.